But for those who stand in your way and betray you, their day of reckoning will come.
Hey everyone, welcome back with Beano Mac. Today we are going to continue our playthrough of WWE Day of Reckoning. It looks like we got a bounty on our head. Now this is pretty much just the sole chapter. It just opens with this match. There's no cutscene before it. I did not mess up again this time, guys. It's just a match between me and good old S-Benj. It's strange, you know, I mean, there's not really any heat to this matchup now, I guess. Now that I'm no longer with Evolution. Of course, you know, if you were unaware, in last episode, yes, we did get kicked out of Evolution at one point. And before we did, we had a shot at Batista, our former Evolution stablemate's Intercontinental Championship. Triple H told us to essentially get disqualified, you know, being up with a sledgehammer. That way next week, Randy Orton, he got his Intercontinental title shot against a weakened Batista due to the sledgehammer beating we gave him the week prior in our Intercontinental title match. And, you know, when we seen what happened, you know, Randy Orton, because they didn't tell us that Randy Orton was going to shot after us either. But when we seen what happened and Orton with the belt, we went out there to confront Triple H. And that's when Ric Flair, Triple H, and Orton jumped all of us. Jumped me, I should say. All of them jumped me. And that was pretty much my, as Triple H put it, walking papers from Evolution. So now we're on our own after defeating Randy Orton. At Armageddon, we, you know, took his Intercontinental title, and we're now the Intercontinental Champion now. And I'm assuming when we got kicked out of Evolution, we just kind of lost our World Heavyweight, actually, yeah, it would be the World Tag Team Championships. They were the ones on Raw. So I'm assuming we are just the Intercontinental Champion. Especially with entrances, I just walk out with the IC title now. Uh-oh. Now he's got to finish it. But if we can put him away with ours, then I think we can end this match quickly. I do not like the placement of my hand during this move. Poor Shelton Benjamin. Want to get all three finishers. Never mind. Hopefully he doesn't reverse any of them. I mean, he shouldn't because he has super low momentum. As you can see, he's probably going to be going into danger. But damn it. Alright, let's try this again. There's no way he's surviving after this one. Oh. We got him. I don't know how that works. It's like really weird, the KO meter. Hey Kai, I don't know if you've heard the news yet, but you better watch your back. What are you talking about? Rumor has it that Triple H and Flair have put a bounty on your head. And that means that just about anybody in the locker room has an incentive to take you out. Anybody, huh? Is that right? Hey, don't worry about me. I've crossed paths with Triple H enough times in the past to know better than to play his stupid games. I wouldn't take his money, but just about anybody else probably would. Man, how big is this bounty? Like I said, you'd better not trust anyone and sleep with one eye open. If you catch my drift. I do. I'll be on the lookout. And hey, thanks for the tip. I was wondering when Shawn Michaels was finally gonna, you know, show up in this story mode. I think he was the last like main eventer guy to show up. I figured he'd be like a part of Chris Jericho's crew. Uh-oh. Like I said before, Triple H, if you want this punk Kai put on the shelf, I'm just the guy to take care of it for you. I'm an it now. That's all well and good, but the last guy to say that got his ass kicked. I want you to do the job, but we're gonna do it right, with no mistakes. Shelton Benjamin? He was the guy? You're gonna team up with Randy Orton in a handicap match against Kai. When you win, you'll get the bounty. Jeez, they're making this as easy as possible for him. Just leave Orton the carcass, are we clear? Perfectly clear. You tell Orton I'll see him in the ring. All I need is a few minutes with the guy, and then he's all yours. And that bounty will be all mine. Just get the job done. So Shelton Benjamin was actually apparently paid to take us out. I'm assuming that's what they mean by that. See, I don't know. That just doesn't seem to line up with me. Or it would have been nice to at least have a cutscene showcasing that. Because, I mean, as far as last we knew, I mean, we beat him and Edge at Survivor Series because they were a part of the Jericho Face Crew, you know, the Appreciation Society. So, I don't know, I guess a lot of time has passed since then, but it's just kind of odd to me. See, this is, I'll give this game credit. This is how you do handicap matches in the story mode, right? A lot of other like story modes, like Road to WrestleMania and SmackDown vs. Raw 2009, I think, did it a lot, in which, you know, you had to do handicap matches. I don't think you ever had to win any, if I remember correctly, but you had to do them where like it was like 3-on-1s and 1-on-2s, and everybody was out attacking your ass at the same time. Those were a pain in the ass, but also No Mercy. I mean, that is one of the worst parts of No Mercy, are those goddamn handicap matches. And a big part of why they're so bad is, you know, in Revenge, they had the option to have tag formats to their handicap matches, right? I think in World Tour as well, if I remember correctly, I think they had handicap matches and they had the option too. No Mercy, for whatever reason, they just didn't give you the tag option. And that's kind of what ruined most of them for me. Like, the most infamous one that everybody always talks about is like the APA one and the hardcore, you know, title division, in which they offer you protection. If you say no, they're like, well, alright, we're just going to take your belt then, if you're not going to pay us. That one, like in the parking lot, seems like the one that everybody always remembers. And it sucks, because if you don't win that match, I think you just have immediately another handicap match with them. It's just harder, which is one of the dumbest things I think in No Mercy they ever did. But, I mean, even then, at least that one makes sense why it's a tornado. There's even one where I think in the Intercontinental path, you know, once again, they were hired by the IC champ to take you out in like the boiler room. And maybe the tag belts, actually. There's quite a few APA handicap matches in that game. I think people get them all mixed up. I know there's definitely one for the IC title. Like, the IC champion hires them to for you to take them out. And I think every single time you face them in handicap matches, I think you, pretty much have to win. Like, not the previously mentioned parking lot brawl one, but the one immediately after that. If you lose that one, you have to win. So yeah, you might as well just consider it, yeah, you have to win. So yeah, I mean, not only, I think that's why those ones in particular, like everybody always specifically mentions the APA one, because, you know, you have to win those, and there were so many of them. There were a few where you had to do it against the New Age Outlaws, but I think with those ones, you usually had like The Rock or somebody, or was it Mick Foley, I think, would also help you? Oh wait, no. It was where, like, if you lost the pink slip on a ladder match, you would go down to help The Rock, but if, you know, it might be the other way around. If, like, he lost, then he would help you in the handicap match. Much easier to do if, like, you're the guy who lost the pink slip on the pole match. I love when when they reverse all my moves. Woo! Good old time. I better get in the fucking ring before Randy Orton just kicks my ass, because there's not even any count out. And he would, like, it just will not end. Yeah, that's right, ref. Do your damn job. Do your job. Man, Kane has a really pronounced belly button on his model. I never noticed that. But yeah, No Mercy could have just benefited from, you know, more tag match options like this. See, guys, I'm becoming an expert in that. Oh, shit, I hit the ref, too. Never mind. I was going to say I became an expert in the timing. I actually hit Randy Orton with my move instead of, you know, letting him hit me. If he doesn't let me knock him off the apron, I might have to think of something else. Maybe I can go for the pin, though. Maybe not. How does he already have his finisher? Yeah, we're going for the Regal strat. Or maybe not. Now I can't even get up. Regal strat where you just try and pin the dude like 10 times over. Just see if anything changes from the one pin to the next. I don't know, that's something I always remember William Regal doing during his matches. Always trying to get a quick, cheap win. A lot of people say William Regal was underrated, and yeah, I don't think he'd be like a massive main event draw or anything like that. But I kind of like a Goldust. I could definitely have seen him being a, you know, a world champion once or twice, or at least involved in those kind of storylines more often. Because he was pretty great in all aspects. I feel like, you know, storytelling, the actual wrestling aspect. You know, everybody remembers of William Regal's facials. But he's getting his praise nowadays, flowers or whatever. Well, it seems that based on your behavior in recent weeks, Randy Orton doesn't want to let this feud go. No, he does not. And if I know the Intercontinental Champion, he's also anxious to see it right through to its bitter end. So, in the interest of settling this once and for all, let me see if I can help by upping the stakes just a bit. Next week, right here on Raw, we're going to see if you two gentlemen can solve your differences in a cell. Hell in a Cell, to be more specific. Uh-oh. Yes, it's going to be you, Randy Orton, versus you, Kai, in a non-title Hell in a Cell match. Why non-title? Non-title, why should I get into the cell next week if it's not for a championship? Good point, Randy. This punk stole my title 2 weeks ago. I deserve a chance to win it back. Randy, you are so focused on the here and now that you fail to see the big picture. Let me see if I can explain it to you. You see, as you may be aware, in just 2 weeks' time, the WWE is going to be holding its very special cross-brand pay-per-view. The Royal Rumble. You know, the 30-man over-the-top event where the winner gets a world title shot? Oh, I know. Well, as the GM of this fine program, I was able to procure the 29th entry slot for one very lucky member of Raw. Who is that person? However, is still undecided who that person is. Jeez. Fortunately, I know of at least 2 worthy candidates deserving of this very advantageous distinction. And they are standing in that very ring right this minute. So as I promised, I've raised the stakes for your match next week. Your match is not going to be for the prestigious Intercontinental title. Oh, no. The stakes are even higher. The winner of next week's Hell in a Cell match will earn the 29 slot at the Royal Rumble. 29 spot? That sounds great. Let's do it. Yeah, of course I got nothing to lose. But let me finish. With great reward comes great risk. He loves hearing himself talk. You see, the man who loses next week's Hell in a Cell match will not be in the Royal Rumble at all. Alright then. Quite the stakes. It's weird. It did happen during the Attitude Era like a few times. But it's weird having the Hell in a Cell of all matches on just like a random Raw. It's kind of too bad that, you know, they could only have like 4 characters on the screen at once. Technically 5 because of the ref. because the Elimination Chamber would be, I think that's like the only match type that's really missing from this series. Maybe there's a few you could pick out. Like, I don't know if I Quit matches are in this game or not, but I think that's kind of the big one that was already in Here Comes the Pain that they weren't able to get in, unfortunately. Maybe in the sequel. It's kind of interesting too that we got the 29 slot in the Rumble, not the 30th. I wonder what that's all about. Also, something that I think the Ruthless Aggression era that I did not expect that. But something that I really liked about the Ruthless Aggression era is the kind of a few ways of the creativity they had when it came to the Royal Rumble slots and stuff. Like, yeah, sometimes they did just have years in which they just had like that. Jeez, I can't think of like what it's called now. It's like that bingo thing in which they had like balls of what the number was, and you know, the spinning thing. I know I'm not explaining it very well, but if you watched it, you would know, and you can look it up. Like, you know, superstars would just come and like there would be like a diva like Maria or someone, just kind of like rolling that bingo thing to bunch up the numbers or whatever. And yeah, it was just kind of an interesting way for people to pick their numbers, and it led to some pretty funny interactions, like the time Eddie Guerrero stole Ric Flair's, I think, like number 30 slot in the Rumble. I think he also stole his wallet or something too. So that's how we get out. I remembered something about it from like the tutorial. How do I get up here? Okay, something's not right here. Another one, maybe it was just the game, but I thought they did one year for the Rumble, in which, because they did it a few times in the games, so I feel like they had to do it in the, you know, in the actual, you know, on-screen product, where guys like their Royal Rumble entry spot would actually be based off of how well they do in matches, and they'd have matches in which, yeah, you know, this is for, this might end poorly. But like the matches were pretty much how well you were doing in like the WWE at the time. So, you know, like they would have like if a guy won a match, you know, his entry spot would go up higher. That sort of thing. So I think it was cool. I remember in the 2006 Elimination Chamber, like they had not only did they have the actual qualifying matches to be in it, like the first, like the one at New Year's Revolution. That's not the best match for the Chamber, but it was a pretty decent one, I thought. But yeah, it was cool because, you know, you had to earn your way in there, so it kind of made it more of a big deal to be in it, instead of just, oh hey, yeah, you know, here's the guy, here's your slot or whatever. And I think that year was exclusive, in which I think they may have did it for a few years, but they had like the Beat the Clock challenge, in which, you know, you had 5 minutes, each guy had 5 minutes in a match, and you know, the faster you beat your opponents, you know, the better you entry order you had in the Chamber. So like Kane beat like some no-name team, like the Heartbreakers or something like that nobody ever knew about, in like 7 seconds. So he was like, I thought he was like number 6 in there or whatever. Carlito, like he beat Victoria, so he got a really good slot in that Chamber, I remember. And I think Chris Masters wasn't able to make Chavo Guerrero tap from the Masters lock in enough time, so like the time expired or something like that. And then Kurt Angle, I remember it was when he had like his weird partnership with Daivari or something like that. So I think Daivari tried to lay down, but the ref was like, nah, you're not getting away with that shit. You got to have an actual match. And somehow, you know, Kurt Angle ended up getting counted out and losing his match. I think I may have mixed some things up there, probably just due to a poor memory or whatever, but yeah, I think it went somewhat similar like that. And I think they kind of did that a little bit. Like, I remember in 2010, like, I remember Triple H winning the qualifying match for, like, the 2010 Elimination Chamber, beating, like, Jack Swagger in, like, I think, like, 2 or 3 minutes. And then, like, 2 months later, Jack Swagger, even though he looked like a total jobber in that match and did nothing up to that point, he just won the Money in the Bank and then immediately won. He just immediately won the world title. And it's like, geez, they had, they had zero, planning or foresight with that, considering how he was booked up to that point. But that was a really good one too. I remember that was the one where Legacy was still a thing. So like Cody Rhodes, I think he lost his. I forget how. Oh yeah, it's because he fought John Cena. So John Cena beat him in his, and then I remember Ted DiBiase won his, and I think it was where Ted DiBiase eliminated Randy Orton, or it was the other way around. Because I think Cody Rhodes like planted the pipe in the steel cage. And that was just a really good storyline, I thought, the end of Legacy. I think it was kind of lame how Orton kind of just completely clowned them at WrestleMania, though. Like, that didn't do those guys any favors. But I remember that was the one, because I think it was Ted DiBiase Jr. who actually got Kofi Kingston and, like, the Boston Crab, where, like, they stuck his head through, like, one of the openings in the chamber before they did it, and it just looked brutal. But the chamber, like, that's usually always a pretty good match. The first one's probably my favorite, though. But yeah, here I am talking about a match type that's not going on and doesn't even exist in this game. But that's what I do. But yeah, you guys share down with me what you like better, the Hell in a Cell or the Elimination Chamber. And on top of that, list your favorite Hell in a Cell match and your favorite Elimination Chamber match on top of that. Or Steel Cage gets left out. It's kind of cool War Games are a thing now in the WWE as well. I haven't seen one. So Kai, you've just won that brutal Hell in a Cell match. Seemingly your feud is now over, but more importantly, you've earned the coveted number 29 entry into the Royal Rumble next week. Of course, we all know that the winner of the Rumble gets a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship title, currently held by Triple H at WrestleMania. Seemingly, the only thing standing between you and a title shot at WrestleMania is your old running buddy Ric Flair, who holds the number 30 slot. Yeah, I know that Flair has the number 30 slot at the Rumble, but I can't let that worry me. I intend to go out there at number 29 and earn my shot at WrestleMania. Whoever or whatever stands in my... Jeez, man, you couldn't have looked behind you. You've got no chance, you hear me? Not you or any of the other 28 peons. You're all wasting your time. So you want to win the Royal Rumble then? Because the Nature Boy is going to win the Royal Rumble. I guess that was a stupid question. But like, clearly he's kind of like, in love with Triple H at this point and stuff, He doesn't really care about his, it'd be kind of, like, I don't see it as, like, that storyline they had where, Flair got the title shot and whatever, and Triple H thought, he was in the clear or whatever. Feels like Ric Flair is kind of just completely under Triple H's thumb at this point. So, I don't know. So do I have to do this whole thing at this? All right, we're number 29. So that's cool. I once again, this is another positive of this game. It took me a few tries, honestly, But well, thanks for the help, Cena, because I just kind of didn't really know what I was supposed to be doing, and I think if their momentum is high enough, they automatically like just they don't even go over the rope, they just come right back in or whatever. But you know, I do like how they did this. Instead of having to do the whole Rumble or in the SmackDown PS1 titles where you have to wait through the entirety of the Rumble match until you get your spot or whatever. I would blow it every single time too. Like, check out my SmackDown 2 playthrough. I played as Triple H in the last few months, and yeah, I think I was number 30 in the Royal Rumble, and I got eliminated. There was only like 2 guys left, and I got eliminated like under a minute. Like, I can't do that chaotic Royal Rumble, you know, stuff back in those days. But looks like I think we only have Ric Flair to deal with now because he's number 30. And I'm kind of wondering, how the hell did he earn number 30? Like, why didn't they make that Hell in a Cell match for the number 30 slot? Like, they made it seem like, oh yeah, you know, SmackDown on number 30, so I don't know. Storytelling. I do not like Ric Flair's physique in this game. Like, it's just so weird. Like, he's the most, like, ripped, fat-looking, out-of-shape dude I've ever seen. Like, it's just not accurate to it. It kind of reminds me when, like, Jericho had, like, those weird-looking... People were saying they were, like, the weird-looking ab implants, even though he's, like, chubby and stuff. Like, I don't know. I mentioned it, I think, like, a previous video, but yeah, they kind of... definitely took liberties with Ric Flair's physique and the action figures and, you know, these games. Probably like a Ric Flair request or something like that. But then again, I guess who would want to play as like the saggy old Ric Flair in a game? Also, just a question as well. I mentioned, you know, give your thoughts on, you know, your favorite Hell in a Cell. Give your thoughts on your favorite Elimination Chamber. You know, which match should I be like better and stuff like that. I am curious, what is your favorite Kai attire, guys? Because I keep mixing them up a little bit. And I'm interested. Do you guys like the line tights he's wearing now with the different colors? You know, it kind of reminds me of like this old screensavers on like the really old computers where they just had like those 3D lines or whatever. That's kind of why I picked them. And I wanted something different from his marble tights when he was in Evolution. So you guys let me know. Do you like the short trunks with the line design, or did you like the marble trunks a little bit better? All right, he should be getting out pretty easy, but I feel he's gonna reverse my throw. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. We got him. Well, all you people saw what happened here tonight. Yes, we did. We saw a brutal Royal Rumble match to determine a #1 contender for a title shot at WrestleMania. A title shot for my belt, my World Heavyweight Championship belt. You know, I could have gone for the WWE belt, you know. And I'm sure that all you idiots would like to see nothing better than me losing my belt in 2 months against the guy who won the Rumble just a few minutes ago. Well, before you get that image ingrained in your pathetic little minds, let me remind you of something. I am Triple H, the very best there is. I am the greatest professional wrestler in the world today. I defended this belt night after night after night, every week, every month, every year. That's why I'm the very best there is. So before you think about this belt around the waist of anybody else, especially that insignificant jobber who won the Rumble, remember this. For as dangerous and formidable a force as I've been in my time in the WWE, I now intend to focus all of that energy into one sole purpose, and that is to single-handedly put Kai out of wrestling. Let's face it, I brought him into this business. Oh, you didn't. I gave him the privilege, the honor of joining forces with Evolution. Kind of, but I was forced into it. In other words, I made Kai into everything he is today. No, let me correct myself. Not everything. I didn't make him into the disappointment he's become. He did that to himself. Really? But now I am going to give him his place in history, ancient history, when I finish him once and for all. And I can think of no better place and time to do it than in front of the whole world at WrestleMania. Well, folks, thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Check out next week's episode on Wrestling Wednesday. But above all else, remember to have a nice day.